Back in April 2014, MSNBC had on their website an article entitled, "Lyndon Johnson was a civil rights hero, but also a racist." And he really was. Now, under his presidency, he got passed the Civil Rights Amendment, also the Voting Rights Act, and that did everything to eliminate what really was then systemic racism. Got rid of the Jim Crow laws. But yet he was a big racist. He called the Civil Rights Act the In Bill. You can fill in what you know that to be. Now, since then, we've got Joe Biden, who in my opinion is probably second only to LBJ as far as his level of what I call inbred racism. Now, all of us old white guys, we have that no matter where we're from. And we fight to overcome it all the time. And I got to tell you, the last 20 years, massive improvements has been made for old white guys. We still have work to be done, certainly, but we should be celebrated for the change in attitudes, not condemned as what's happening now. A couple of things about Joe Biden, though, that reveals his inbred racism. Number one is his choosing of Kamala Harris to be his VP. Now, realize in the history, usually the VP candidate was somebody that could bring in a state or two in the general election. Mention LBJ. He was John F. Kennedy's choice back in 1960 and they didn't even like each other, but LBJ brought Texas into the camp. Probably the worst decision Abraham Lincoln ever made was in choosing Andrew Johnson to be his running mate from Tennessee, hoping to pick up a few Southern votes, but in the end, he was the most racist guy that ever served as president. So back to Joe Biden. Chooses Kamala Harris and realize she brought nothing to the ticket. She didn't help with the African-American vote. Number one, historically, African-Americans vote overwhelmingly, more than 90% every time for whoever the Democrat candidate is. So there was no help there. Plus, she didn't get African-American votes in the primary when she was running for president. And secondly, she's from California. I mean, good grief. California is a wholly owned subsidiary of the Democrat Party. He didn't need her help there. He's going to win that no matter what. So what's up with Kamala Harris? She's not going to bring one electoral college vote to Biden. Well, he announced it before he named her, which was he was going to get an African American on the ticket. Now realize what happened just there. No name, names don't matter. It's all about race. That's the epitome of racism. And then he gave that announcement about, remember Thomas Edison did not invent the light bulb. It was an African American man. Did you notice they never mentioned the name? See, that's the key, because the name doesn't matter. The person doesn't matter. It's all about race. By the way, the name of the guy, Lewis Howard Latimer. And he was a great guy. He was a patent draftsman. He had patents done to make improved toilets on railroad cars. He worked with Alexander Graham Bell to improve patents on the phone, and then ultimately worked with the Edison Company, where he did improve and get patents for the light bulb. But Joe Biden, man, inbred racist.